So Samuel McOure has officially joined ODM, and he released a statement yesterday confirming that from now henceforth he is part of the ODM, and is going to recruit youth to this party. And in his statement, he say that he believes that ODM is the only party that is going to also to win major seats in the coming 2027 elections. So I was watching McOure talk, and I was like, do we really have a real activist in this country, like activists who are in for it, or people just like using opportunity, let's say like the protest, to sell themselves, to create their brand, and then once they have a name, they are ready to join any politicians or support any politicians who might give them good money to join them. So this is the statement by Samuel McOure that he released yesterday. If you are willing to join a substantive political movement for a fair, democratic Kenya where everyone can live with dignity, consider the ODM party, the largest pro-people party in East and Central Africa. We are revitalizing the youth and students leagues and are calling on passionate young Kenyans to help shape our future. Stand with us. Thank you, Party Chair Gladys Wanga, for your faith and hosting us this weekend. So remember, yesterday was the Gladys Wanga homecoming in Homa Bay, and all the ODM members were there, and Kasmuel McOure was also there, and he was given a chance to greet the youth and talk to them. I saw him speaking a very fluent the Luo, and I was like, hey, kumbe watu wanakuanga wamejipanga. So it is official that McOure is no longer part of the Gen Z movement. He has decided that this is what I want. I want a political seat, and the only way to get this political seat is through joining ODM. McOure was very active during the Gen Z protests, both online and offline. At some point, we saw him visiting vibandas, border sheds, injecting, telling the youth how they really need to fight for themselves, for their rights and everything. Then some months later or weeks later, he's here telling us that he has decided to join ODM. I don't understand why he has chosen to do this. He doesn't believe in this movement. It looks like Samuel McOure doesn't believe in Gen Z movement. Perhaps he believes this is just a noise that is going to end at some point, and he decided that before it reaches that point, it is time for me to just join Raila Odinga and secure my spot there. So according to what Gladys Wanga said, is McOure will be among the young people who will be moving around different areas in Kenya, different counties, and he has been tasked to recruit youths to ODM and also the student leagues. Perhaps he'll be visiting universities, kuongea na wanafunzi wa university, selling ODM to them and all that. How will that end? We don't know, but as at now, it confirms to us that there is one thing that comes out, that as much as we are trying to fight bad governance, looks like majority of us who has chosen to do this activism is we are doing it as a way of looking for an opportunity, is a way of us trying to, wanasema kutoka block, like tukipata mtu, we build our name, our brand. Once we have a name, tukipata mtu anatushika mkono, we easily move from this movement and join them. So I don't understand why at first Samuel McOure was fighting a bad governance. I don't know why he was telling us about these politicians, telling us how these politicians have ruined this country, how these politicians should be abandoned come 2027. How these politicians are the real problem we have in this country, and later on join these politicians. Of course, now ODM Many people have issue with ODM, especially after Raila Odinga joining the government. We have some critics who have been criticizing Raila for his decision. Many people felt like Raila Odinga is helping President William Ruto to do what he's doing at the moment. He's a man who is holding President William Ruto because when he moved to the government, his support base also move with him. We know Raila Odinga has a support or has a fan base that so much believes in him. Akisema hii ni hivyo, akisema hii ni hivyo. So him moving to the government, of course, some majority of his fan base moved with him. So it is interesting how to see how this Gen Z movement will survive now that one of the people who were at some point called the Gen Z leader has moved to ODM. We are now remaining with Akina Kebaso Morara and some few others who are still pushing this thing. I've seen that Morara Kebaso has shared that so far he has moved to more than, I think, 27 counties, something like that. And he believed that he's going to visit all the countries, exposing this stall project and exposing how these people are stealing money through this project. So Morara Kebaso, I can say, he has been very consistent, although he has been also been fought online because at some point like 2 weeks ago, people are calling him conman. People are telling him to stop. People are telling him to stop asking for fundraise and all that. But Morara Kebaso has been very consistent. And at some point, I want to believe in him. If he can consistently do this to the end, then it will prove that he is indeed was into this movement. Because I've also seen that kuna some infights that has been going on social media. These big wigs, especially on Twitter, trying to expose each other, saying how these were paid to do this, how these were paid to shut down the movement, how some people were given some money. So it has been a very rough moment for this Gen Z movement, because people are exposing themselves. People no longer believe or trust themselves. People are just snitching on each other and all that. I don't know if this is the reason that McOure saw that because we don't have a very strong movement, because this movement is about people snitching on each other, exposing each other, people going after money. Perhaps this is the reason he saw and decided that instead of me doing all these, let me just be true to myself and join the ODM party. So it is going to be a very interesting moment, a very interesting time to see how this movement will go on. Will they at some point decided to pick a leader, and if so, will they opt to pick Morara, because as at now is the only man who is still consistent in doing what he has been doing, that is exposing a government stall project. I've also seen that these movements are coming up with a possible candidate whom they prefer to go for the top seat, that is the presidency in 2027. And many people want to have this what is his name, activist Okiya Omtatah, and suggesting that it should be the person whom they should support come 2027, because they believe that Okiya Omtatah has done so much in this country without being compromised, and they believe that he's a man who can secure the top seat and do the best for this country and do the best for Kenyans. So I'm also seeing the name of Kivutha Kibwana popping up. They also believe that this is a man who has been so steady in his decisions, and he has been so straight in his decisions, and he believes that he's a man who cannot betray Kenyans. He's a man whom, if elected to occupy the top seat, he will just do exactly what Kenyans want to do in this country. that is giving us a good governance and improving this country in terms of social, economic, politically, and all that. So I don't know how they will shape up themselves before 2027, because the young people no longer trust themselves. Going by what is happening on social media, exposing each other, it is now clear that these young people don't believe in themselves, and I don't think they're going to have any young, let's say 20 to 30 person as their preferred candidate in 2027. And so it is interesting that these things are turning out to be. I also seeing that people are saying that even Morara will soon join a political party, a non-political party, and I don't know if that is going to happen or not, but I think the trust amongst these young people is done, is over, is fading out, and and this is the reason they are opting for the people whom they have been on the limelight for long, like the Okiya Omtata and Kivutha Kibwana. You see, they are going back to the people whom have been in this political space for quite some time, because they believe that amongst themselves, they are not cannot be trusted, because they believe that majority of these young people, once they see money, they will follow money. Just that even those who are perhaps continue injecting and all that, maybe it is because nobody has approached them, but once they get approached, they compromise their values and beliefs and integrity and join these politicians. So it is a very interesting moment in our country, seeing the people who believe that they are going to change this country joining forces with all the politicians. It is really discouraging, and it is really not a good show. So I believe for those who are still believe in this Gen Z movement, they will continue to do so even after all this that we are seeing. They will believe in their movement and push it forward and push it to the end, because we all want a Kenya that is for us all. We all want a good governance, so that every Kenyan can be accommodated in this country and live a life with dignity. So for those who want to join these political parties, maybe it is time you stop pretending and just make everything open. Join this political party. Then maybe from there, these young people will have to rearrange themselves and maybe come up with a structure that is going to propel them to the 2027 politics, and also maybe come up with a party that those who believe in the movement will use to vie and to occupy these political spaces. So that is it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Sophia Live.